What's up, everyone? I'm Rick Knight. Welcome back to another video here at The Bad Philosopher. In this video, I would like to take the time out to criticize my own party, my own political side, the political aisle that I'm on. I would like to criticize them because we are all worthy of criticism, regardless of anything. Most of my videos, I spent time criticizing people on the left and the Democrats and the liberals, and I think it's only fair that I speak about some things that I don't like here in my party. Now, I am a libertarian. I am an Ayn Rand libertarian. I subscribe to her philosophy of objectivism. This is what was the foundation of the Libertarian Party that started in 1971. It was Ayn Rand's philosophy that started this movement, and now I notice when we look into the party, into the movement itself, there's a lot of people in my party that is tainting the party. So libertarians always stood for liberty and freedom, and you have libertarians who are socialists. Socialism does not equal liberty or freedom, therefore it is not a libertarian principle, and it is tainting the party by having a libertarian socialist. Some of them also call for open borders, which is not going to work for our country. They call for large welfare states. Some of them are anarchists. There are other ideas that they bring into the party that's not exactly libertarian in principle and does not follow the Ayn Rand worldly view within her philosophy. I believe that a lot of people join the Libertarian Party because they don't want to be called a Democrat or they don't want to be called a Republican, but a lot of them are Democrats or they are Republicans. And they think it's trendy or cool or edgy or just trying to be different to call themselves libertarian. And I think they're only libertarian in name, not in nature. This is a very, very, very bad idea because you are going to water down the party. You're going to make the party look like something that it's not. It's the largest third party here in the country. The reason why we're here as libertarians is because we don't agree with the Democrats when it comes to economics. We don't agree with the Republicans when it comes to social issues. This is what the Libertarian stands for. We agree with the Republicans with economics for the most part, so we like to push economic policies that are further to the right. We agree with the Democrats on social issues, so we push the social issues that are in line with the Democrats. Granted, the Democrats have gone very, very, very far left, and a lot of us here in the Libertarians, we don't agree with the narrative being pumped by the left, but this is the classic model of libertarians. We were Republican by economics and Democrat socially. The problem I have today with the libertarian movement is too many people entered into this party and they don't fully know what libertarianism is. They're pumping a false narrative. If you watch the 2016 presidential debates within the Libertarian Party, you will see a bunch of crackpots that are there. There was one guy, I can't remember his name, he stripped down to his underwear and he was dancing on stage, and that was his time on the podium giving his speech to why you should vote for him as a Libertarian candidate for presidency. It's just way too many lunatics that are involved in the Libertarian Party. Another issue that I have with it is that people think that because one of the principles of libertarianism is complete freedom, and we value the First Amendment, and you're allowed to say what you want, you're allowed to live the way you want, live to a standard that makes you happy as long as you're not, you don't infringe on someone else's rights, and that's a principle that we hold. So a lot of people in the libertarian movement could be jerks, and there's a lot of anti-Semitism, there's a lot of racism, there's a lot of people with immoral characters that are in the libertarian movement, and then they like to, especially when you're dealing with them online, they like to say something extremely offensive, and then they say libertarian AF, meaning libertarian as fuck, and they think it's perfectly okay to be an asshole and then just say libertarian as fuck and that's it, that solves everything. Now, you absolutely have the right to be a dick. If you're a Republican, a Democrat, libertarian, it doesn't matter what you are, you have the right to be a dick. But the question is, should you be a dick just because you have a right to? And I think a lot of libertarians are in this movement just so they can continue to be a dick and then say, well, I'm a libertarian, so, libertarian, as fuck, and that's it. And yeah, of course you have the right to do so, but if that's your motive for joining this party, then I wish you would not join this party and you would leave, because you give a lot of libertarians a bad name. You give a lot of us that really do want to push the party and really do want to spread it to the rest of the country and the rest of the world and show people that there's a third party out there. You don't have to go Democrat. You don't have to go Republican. You can go third party. We have a lot of good principles. You know, we stand for capitalism. We like the non-aggression principle, meaning don't use an act of aggression. Don't use force against someone. Don't use force to violate someone's rights. You know, we have we stand for property rights. You know, we have a very good principles and sound ideas on our side, and it's being ruined by these pseudo-libertarians that are not really libertarians. It's just, to them, maybe it's trendy, maybe they think it's cool, maybe they just want to be edgy. You know, I don't know what their psychology is for joining the libertarian movement, but it's definitely weakening us. In 2016, we nominated Gary Johnson to represent the Libertarian Party to run for president. He received 12% of the votes. He didn't get enough to go to the national debates, but that's the furthest that we went. And for the next elections coming up into the future, we would like to go further. It's going to be very hard to do so when we have people that's in our party that believe in, this absolute way of life, absolute free speech, and absolute Second Amendment, and it's not going to work. Open borders and no taxes and socialism and all of these. The problem with all of these things is that it's not actually libertarian as they think it is. So absolute free speech means I have the right to threaten you. I can say, listen, I'm going to go home, get my gun. I'm going to show up at your house and I'm going to shoot you and your family. That's not free speech. That's issuing a threat. That's violating someone's rights. That is threatening to use force against them, which would be violating the non-aggression principle. Even if it wasn't physically violating the principle, but mentally, intellectually, you violated that principle, and you're violating someone's rights by issuing a threat. That threat can cause the person to react, either against you or react in the way that you wanted them to react in the first place. So it is almost using an act of aggression against them. Libertarians don't understand that. The absolute Second Amendment's not going to work. I'm fully for the Second Amendment, but I really don't want average citizens owning bazookas. I mean, you can imagine what could happen if you get a crackpot out there that has a rocket launcher or something like that, and it could be a lot big trouble. So absolute anything could be bad. I mean, it's something that has to be reasoned, but with the libertarians, they just like to say, libertarian as fuck, and that's it, and that solves everything. So, yeah, I just want to put that out there, that I have issues with my own party, and that there's way too many crackpots in my party. There's way too many lunatics in my party. And I have to be honest, I can't pretend that everything about me is perfect and everything about the left is immoral and disgusting. I have to be honest and say that we do have issues. I have issues. I can be scrutinized and criticized. My party can be scrutinized and criticized, and it needs to be in order for us to make changes and for me to make changes and for us to be better. So, yep, there you go. I have a lot of issues with my own party. It's not just the left or the right that I have a problem with, but my own party is definitely a problem. So I just wanted to put that out there. And that's it. See what you feel. If you agree with me, disagree with me. If you want to ask any questions, if you want a video response from me, just leave your question in the comment section. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit the bell, hit a punching bag, hit anything you want. And that's all I got. Thank you very much.